Welcome back, everybody. It's a beautiful April day. Temperature is going to top out around 63 degrees, and I'm out here doing some work with the tractor. First thing I want to do is get rid of that stump that I'm right next to there, and I got to get rid of the spoils or the dirt that's around it, just because I can't get in there close enough to finish the job. So last time I worked on it, it still wasn't budging, but I think today's going to be the day. First thing I'm going to do is see where we're at, see if this thing is even going to budge any, and it's got very little movement, hardly at all. So I've dug down pretty deep around this thing, and I think most of the stuff is just holding it in is directly underneath the stump. So I'm just going to chip away at it. I could get off the tractor and get a spudge bar or something and just try to start chipping at it, but that's a little bit too much of manual labor for me. I'd rather sit in a chair and let the backhoe do the work. I will say, if you want to build up your skills with the controls, working on a tough stump like this is probably ideal. You're not going to damage anything. You're not going to dig up any pipes by accident. You're not going to hit any power lines. It's just good repetition, and it builds up the muscle memory for the backhoe. I've seen the BX expanded. It looks like a blade you almost put on the end of your bucket. You take your bucket off and it cuts through the roots, and I just wonder how that works. If people use their bucket first to kind of get it deep here and then they put the blade on, or they just start with the blade right off the bat and see if they can just cut through the roots. If anybody has one, I'd be curious to know. Well, I've been at this for about a half hour now, and it looks like I got some headway going here. I can see some motion, and I think a lot of it is just there's such a large ball of dirt below this that it's pretty heavy also, and it's just the little tiny roots that are holding this thing together now. Well, that's a good feeling. I'm just going to see how much dirt I can get off of this and get it out of the hole. It's pretty muddy, so sometimes I like to just leave them dry for a while and then come back. But I want to get this out of the way, fill the hole up, and then start flattening things out for our future garden. Alright, I got a couple plans here. Plan A, in the back of my mind, I don't think it's going to work. Okay, plan B. I think this is going to do a little better, but I can definitely see why some folks might want a center hook on their bucket. So I had to improvise here a little bit so I could take advantage of both hooks and not offset the bucket while trying to pull this up. Plan B is not too bad. I am a little worried about those straps at the edge of the bucket, but they're pretty heavy duty, so I didn't think I was going to tear them. But it's still a pretty heavy stump. Now this completely slipped my mind, and I am a proponent of this, and that's to use the diff lock whenever you're getting stuck. And I think if I would have remembered to use it, I think I would have got it out with no problem. Now I did take the strap off in the meantime and shorten up the chain so there's no strap, just a chain onto the bucket. Alright, I did get off the seat and just try to knock a little dirt off of it. The ground is pretty soft here. As I said, this is going to be our future garden. I tilled this area up last year before winter set in, so the dirt is pretty soft. But I ended up just repositioning it, taking the chain off and putting it back on, and got it out no problem. So I don't know if you want to call that plan C. I got a pretty good hole here. This could be a good chance for a koi pond, but we're going to fill it back in. I'm going to be taking off the backhoe for a project I got coming up in the next couple days, but before I do, I just wanted to grab a couple more little stumps. Hopefully not too big a deal, but they worked kind of hard to get out. They weren't very big, but I think these are sassafras trees. And they have a very deep and very full root system, and I almost wonder if they're attached to one another, almost like aspen trees. And last but not least, I got to empty the trailer so I could get the tractor loaded up. So I really like the jack stands that I welded on the back of the trailer. It enables me to put this tractor on there without having to hook it up to my truck. So it gives me a 3-point stance. Raise it off the ground, take the wheels off the ground. So they're very helpful. So that was a pretty full day of work today, and I'm all loaded up here. I got to work tomorrow, and then I'm going to go on the road. A friend of mine who I'm working with tomorrow at the firehouse for 24 hours. So we do take our precautions, but we're going to do a little outside project, and it's going to involve the post hole digger. So thanks for watching these videos. Hope you're staying healthy, and keep an eye on us.